confidence. Effortlessly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus, Exodus. Shout out to my exes.
Y'all black females out here, y'all don't understand the struggles of being a black man out here in America and not knowing whether or not you gonna make it home to your children every night because of the police gunning you down.
But don't y'all be out here gunning each other down?
Okay, but we ain't talking about that.
Hell, don't y'all be rapping about killing each other in music?
We ain't talking about that either. We can talk about killing each other in rap music, but we don't like the police killing us. Stay on subject, woman.
You brought up your kids. Tyrone, you don't even see your kids.
And then, yeah, I be trying to see my kids. You know my baby mamas be tripping because I don't want to be with none of them, so they be holding my kids from me. You know that.
Okay, but your baby mama saying you don't get them no child support either.
Okay, but I still be going out my way to try to see them.
They live 5 minutes from my house, Tyrone.
That is out my way, woman. See, y'all, that's why we don't like y'all black women's mouths. Y'all run y'all mouth too much. Y'all always bringing up stuff that's irrelevant.
Well, was you cheating on me irrelevant?
I only cheated on you 10 times. You act like I do it every day, bruh. See, that's why we date women of other races, man.
Hey, boos, hey. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Woman Exodus. How are y'all doing? And like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please comment in the comment section. Say what's up to me in the chat. Let me know that you all are listening. This is another installment of my series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the dusty derelicts, crazy creatures, and animals in Blackistan. Tonight, I want to talk about dusty podcasters. And shout out to loyal patron Philosophy and Letters who shared this suggestion with me. This is an incredible idea because these dusty podcasters, these dudes are out of control. You know, they should have never given you niggas microphones because dusties are uneducated, unintelligent, and lack the intellect to articulate arguments collectively. And they'll use these podcasts to spew this unresearched, unfounded, and baseless arguments. Okay. So we know dusties are misogynistic. They are misogynoiristic, and they utilize these raggedy ass platforms to be problematic and to promote very, very flawed ideology. Okay. So now that we know the profile of your dusty podcaster, let's get into some examples of these problematic dusties. So here's one in this first video of a dusty podcaster explaining their degeneracy. So let's watch this.
The main thing that black women miss the trick on is that black men already know that black women only date black men, generally. So it's like I'd say it's like a 90% split. Maybe 10% might date outside, 90% only go for black men. So that means we already know your hand. So we already know, oh, you need this, you need that, you need blah, 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 blah. But actually, you're only going to date me. So me existing, I'm already good enough, not realistically, but I mean, as in you're only going to select from me. And there's no real way I'm going to lose you because you're not going to look anywhere else.
Shots fired. So they calling your bluff, black women. They are calling you out. And I've said this over and over again. As a matter of fact, we talked about this in the Patreon, in the private Discord. I'm very vocal about this stance. Men just don't want readily available women. Okay. And coming from a marketing perspective, they teach you this simple concept of supply and demand in marketing school. I learned this while I was working on my graduate degree, on my master's. If the demand is high, if McDonald's know you're not going anywhere else, they're going to charge sky high prices, even if it's for a shitty product. It's like, who cares? You're not going to go anywhere else anyway. So I don't give a damn. Our service is going to be awful. The ice cream machine always going to be broken. We going to cuss you out. We might spit in your food, and I'm going to still charge prices for shitty service and a shitty product. But what happens is when competitors start popping up and the market is more saturated and you have a Wendy's that shows up down the street, or a Burger King or KFC or Chick-fil-A. Then that forces McDonald's to be more reasonable with what you're offering. You have to be more competitive. And that goes hand in hand with relationships within the community. Okay? So this man just sat there and told you, we already know collectively you're not going nowhere. Black women, you offer unrequited love. You don't care. You are readily accessible and oftentimes are vocal about your undying loyalty to us. So I know I can denigrate you publicly on our global platforms. I can sexually assault you. I can brutalize you at astronomical rates. We know studies show that Black women are victimized at a much higher rate than other groups of women. You know, they taking you out every 5 hours, and you still gonna be professing your love for these kinds, and you still gonna be talking about black love, black love, black love. Even if I drag you through the ringer, we know you're not going nowhere. You don't have any standards. You don't require me to treat you well, so why would I? He's saying this straight from the horse's mouth. Okay? And this is what I mean. We have to listen. You know, they should have never given these niggas microphones. They should have never given these niggas podcasts, because now all you got to do is spend a few coins on Amazon and all of a sudden you're an expert. You're a relationship expert. You're a dating coach. I'm a classically trained journalist. My bachelor's degree is in journalism. And it used to be that you had to have an education and credentials to speak publicly like this, but not anymore. With the advent of the internet, now all you need is a Twitter or a TikTok and you can say this stupid itch. But in this case, it works well because niggas is so damn dumb. They're comfortable expressing their degeneracy openly. He is showing you his hand. He is calling your bluff. He is calling you out. So now Black women don't have an excuse. He literally just told you, hey, I mistreat you because your dumb ass ain't gonna go nowhere. Who cares? You don't require anything from us, so why would I give you more? Your standards are below the floor, so why would I treat you well? You just still gonna demonstrate this undying loyalty to me anyway, so who cares? This is your dusty podcaster, though. This is the type of ideology that they're promoting, that they are sharing on these platforms. Okay, so I want to keep going and look at this next example of another dusty podcaster talking to a woman who is explaining why she abandoned the idea of Black love. And shout out to Monera who shared this one with me.
Vibing, we're cool. We're having a good time. We get back to the house. We do whatever. It's 3 a.m. You clearly don't want me to stay because you're asking me what you about to do, right? So as an individual, you're not gonna make sure as a gentleman, right? Everybody want to be a gentleman until it's time to be a gentleman. No, you don't want to be a gentleman.
I never proclaimed to be a gentleman.
And that is the reason why a lot of people will leave Black love alone. They'll leave it alone because it's bare minimum. You don't even
really
want to be a gentleman, bro.
Yeah, I be out here really blindly looking for love, thinking that y'all gonna find it these other places. It's not better over there.
Nobody's saying that it is. They just treat me right now in this situation. What's happening? They treat me better, and I'm willing to leave, to see, to risk, because I've risked it on y'all, and y'all have squandered it over and over again. You literally just said I never claimed to be a gentleman. There's nothing else we gotta talk about. Look, no, I'm not even being funny. It's not even cute. You shouldn't laugh because it's not funny and it's not cute.
But my thing is like you are like taking autonomy to determine what's the right way to date, quote unquote, right? Or what's a gentleman, or how time is supposed to be spent, or how time is supposed to be paid for, or things like that. And it's like, well, who the fuck made you judge and jury of all that shit? Like,
so what would men rather do?
Okay, so his response to her spilling her heart is to giggle like a childish little bit. He's talking about he never claimed to be a gentleman. And to tell you, you're going to get hurt over there too. And this is why I encourage Black women to stay away from these circular arguments with these fools. They lack basic critical thinking skills. They lack basic intellect. So it's hard to have these arguments with them. You might as well just pick an argument and debate with a 5-year-old because they're idiots. And this just makes my head hurt. So, y'all be telling them, oh, y'all have the highest rates of DV. Y'all create the highest rates of fatherless homes. We dropping like flies because you taking us out every 5 hours. And his response, a Dusty Podcaster's response will be to say other men do it too. It's like, Black women, you have to stop trying to plead and beg and reason with these fools. At this point, again, it's like trying to bargain with a crackhead. There's no reasoning there. They aren't operating from a base of logic or common sense. So it's time to move on. And I don't even know why sis is sitting here listening to a Dusty tell us how a man will treat us instead of us encouraging the idea of us meeting non-Black men and experiencing it ourselves. My Dusty baby daddy tried to tell me I was undesired. Oh, I'm the least desired woman, Dusty. Okay, I'll figure that out myself firsthand. And guess what happened after a year of dating? I got a big old rock on my finger. And the men I was so-called least desired by put a ring on it. Fast forward 6 years later, he's still here, still desiring me, still treating me like I'm golden. So this is just foolishness. So Black women, I think that's another thing that we have to be mindful of. Like the same thing with Asian Doll going on the Fresh and Fit podcast and Black women calling into Karen Samuels, his platform. We have to be mindful and more strategic and make sure that we are intentionally avoiding these types of platforms, because why even entertain this idiotic rhetoric? Why? Like there's no intellect there. You're just engaging in circular arguments with these fools. They're idiots. Okay, so let's keep going. I want to look at this next mushmouth podcaster who is promoting idiotic relationship behavior and relationship ideas and problematic ideology when it comes to dating as well. So let's watch this and then we will talk.
From a single parent home that's successful. You got a lot of women that you can tell a lot of the behaviors how you raise. I'm not saying it ain't a man's job to do this, but where is that a written law that a nigga got to do that? When you on a team with somebody, everybody play a role.
Right.
If you getting to the money and I'm getting to the money, we gonna come together and we gonna make this shit work for each other. My job is to teach my woman something she don't know.
Right.
Her job is to teach me some shit you don't know. When you don't love, when you love yourself, a lot of this shit come from love. When you love yourself and you know how to love yourself, you teach them up how they supposed to love you.
Right.
Because you love yourself.
Right.
If you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna, how you gonna expect a nigga to teach you how to love you? Why is it my job to make you happy when you should already be that? Now I can easily come in and pay some bills, but what nigga can't do that? But how can you have an expectation out of me that you can't expect out yourself? Can you pay your own bills before I get to you? Can you do for yourself? Can you provide for yourself before I get to you? Because God forbid something happened to me and I'm fucked up.
And then she's stuck because she
don't know shit.
Right.
How you gonna be able to take over the load? I'm not asking you to do this, but I'm asking you, if I'm finna do this, what can I expect out of you? If all I got to do is these old niggas that ain't never had no beautiful woman before feeling like they gotta buy some, that's really solicitation of prostitution. I'm gonna be real with you. Cause to me, a hoe is a woman that depend on a nigga bankroll in exchange for. I'm gonna do all this, you gonna get some at the end of the day. If all I got to look forward to is some, I can get that before I get a Happy Meal. I can take any woman, go send her to the DR, build her body. I might as well go get a bitch in Cuba and fly over here, build her body, make sure she look pretty, put some clothes on her, fatten a frog to feed a snake. Because you got to think, a woman can put on a $5 dress from Fashion Nova and go get $1 million nigga. A nigga can put on a $5 t-shirt and hope he get a $5 bitch. It's a difference. You can't compare the two. So when I hear niggas say, Man, you need to do this for her. You need to do that. What's she doing for you? Cause life, mathematics like a mother. If you ain't adding to me, you subtracting and dividing. So mathematically, that shit don't work to me. If all I got to do is give, what the fuck I'm getting? How you got a Honda Accord expecting a nigga with a Phantom? You ain't got no Phantom. So you feel like we in the entitlement age. Motherfuckers is straight up programmed. Think about TV, that's programming. Think about radio, that's programming. They programming your mind through music that this the way.
That's what. Right.
But ain't no other culture doing that but black culture. Programming niggas off trauma and everything, off survival. That's damn near survival. Let me get with a nigga and a nigga gonna take care of me. But you in survival mode because you can't take care of yourself. You don't love yourself enough to even have to know how to take care of yourself, so you dependent on a nigga to do that because you see the baby, you see Moneybag Yo, you see all these niggas spoiling a woman, but you see they got problems too though.
Yeah.
He doing all that for a woman, but he and other bitches too.
Yeah.
He got the bankroll to do that. So at the end of the day, you gonna be happy with the amenities, a piece of a nigga, or you want the whole nigga to yourself and you want to build with that nigga. Because you gotta think, life got come with 4 seasons. The world gonna destroy itself and regrow itself. That's nature. It's gonna be winter. Shit die in the winter. In the fall, shit start dying off. Spring, shit go to blossoming. Summer, it shine. That's the world killing itself and rebuilding itself. People don't even do that. They looking for a whole nother mother. You gonna build me up. You gonna do all this shit. And in the end, what I get? Just a fucking. All I'm gonna get is some. But I gotta do all this for you.
That kind of sound like the last show we had.
Child, what the fuck is this shit? I don't understand how black women listen to these inarticulate, mumbling, bumbling fools. He's talking about you can pay your own bills. Can you provide for yourself without me? Yes, of course we can. Black women have been forced to, dude. Collectively, black women have been forced to figure it out and have been forced to operate autonomously because of your failures. So although I can do it by myself, if I'm going to continue doing that, what the fuck are you here for? These 50-50 niggas make me sick because they'll die on this hill about what do you bring to the table? What can you do for me? Trying to guilt trip black women into doing their damn jobs because a man's role is to protect, provide, and to problem solve. And if he can't do those 3 things, girl, you might as well be single or in a lesbian relationship. Otherwise, what are you getting out of it? Because there's no such thing as 50-50 when it comes from a woman's perspective. As a woman, just the mere fact that you carry and birth children makes it an unequal end of the bargain. And I don't give a damn how involved the father is. You're carrying his children for 9 damn months. Swollen ankles, aching back, y'all. I almost died from preeclampsia when I gave birth to my child. You know, your body is totally shape-shifting into something else unfamiliar because you are the sole life source for another human being. You're risking your life birthing his kids. I told you I almost passed when I was during childbirth. Let's not get into the high mortality rate for pregnant black women specifically. But even then, once that child gets here, naturally, women's maternal instincts kick in. So you're going to primarily be doing the raising and the rearing. That's your 50, sis. That's your half. Birthing, burping, cleaning up vomit, changing shitty diapers, cooking and cleaning, washing his dirty drawers. After a long day of doing all that, you still expected to bust it open on command and you supposed to be swinging from the chandeliers in the bedroom. You mean to tell me these niggas expect you to pay half the bills too? The math is not mathing. That's not 50-50. And he's talking about that's prostitution. Well, that sounds like broke nigga talk to me. That sounds like dusty talk. That sounds like mush mouth talk. Because it ain't tricking if you got it. And furthermore, if you were to try to hire someone to do the things that a mother and a wife does, you wouldn't be able to afford it anyway. Because black wives, black mothers are chefs, we housekeepers, we therapists, we life coaches, we're chauffeurs, we're teachers. I could go on and on and on. y'all. And I read an article that said if you were to hire people to do those things, you'd be paying well within the high six figures on a yearly basis. And here, this Dusty talking about 50-50 on top of all of that. He's talking about build with me, build. I'm tired of hearing Dusty's talking about Black women need to build with them. Black woman, a man who has nothing built already, he don't deserve no pussy. This is what other groups of men understand. You know, if you're not established, if you haven't cultivated any assets, if you don't own anything, if you haven't built anything, you need to be single, Dusty. Because whatever little coins and time and energy you have, you need to allocate that towards bettering yourself instead of expecting a woman to help you do that.
Shout out to my exes.
Hey, y'all. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. If you didn't know already, Black women are beautiful. Black women are intelligent and incredible. Black women are phenomenal and make great wives and mothers.
I want to speak to your manager.
Black women should be respected and deserve to be loved.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Black women deserve to be treated like human beings at least. Listen, guys, if you're like me, you are so tired of your favorite Black female content creators getting harassed by the trolls, silenced on social media, and censored by YouTube. We work so hard to stand up for Black women, and although YouTube allows us to be regularly berated, ridiculed, and degraded by Dusties every day on the platform, as soon as we say one word to clap back, we're threatened with channel violations and are told to be silent or we will have our platforms removed. The biased algorithms, inconsistently enforced policies, and persistent trolling on YouTube is unacceptable and needs to stop. If you agree, meet me over on my Patreon, where you will be able to access completely raw, unfiltered, exclusive Lexus Exodus content. You will be able to access uncut, uncensored, and ad-free content, 2 bonus videos a week, access to the private Discord community, and much, much more. So meet me over on the Patreon at patreon.com/LexusExodus. The link is also in the description below.
Shout out to my exes.
Child, so I want to get into this next clip of a Dusty podcaster indicating what he expects in a relationship. And shout out to Indigo, who shared this one with me.
I would love for my wife to be at home all day and she just does what I say.
Are you married?
I love that.
Oh.
If I had the preference, I would prefer to have full control over my wife. Or
Full control over my wife?
What is
slavery?
If I had the preference, I would like to have full control. Just me as a person, I like having full control of all of my situations. 100%. So if it was my preference, I would prefer to control her entirely, but I know it's not realistic.
That's the craziest video I've seen in a while. Do you notice how these Black men with podcasts start to sound more and more like slave owners without the stock to do so, right? And that's what's so compelling to me. This obsession with full control over things only comes from people who feel so powerless and out of control of their situation. Like, it's very weird to me the way that the subordination of Black men can sometimes turn them into these monsters of, I want to completely control a human being as if I own them, even though the ownership of my people has oppressed me, and I still feel that. I can't see how my desire to do what has been done to my lineage is hurting me. And it's appalling, and it's almost a joke, because what these men want, they will never get, because like I've said a million times, they are fighting with white man's tools that do not work for them. The reason he's so confident in saying, I want full control over an entire human being, is because there is not a world where that is really gonna happen for him. That is a white man's wet dream. And the other black men in the room being like, go off, king. You want to fully own someone? You shouldn't want to fully control your child or your dog, let alone your wife, your equal. This is why I'm saying marriage these days is doing nothing for women but making us face these men who haven't dealt with the shit going on in their head and think it's okay, genuinely okay, to come on the internet and say, I want to fully own a human being, even though I'm still dealing with generational trauma from slavery. And that is what has made me insecure enough to feel I have no control over my life and must declare that I need to completely control a woman. And they can't seem to recognize the insanity, the delusion. And that is what is so compelling in us continuing to watch these black men talk in ways that they should not be talking about power they do not have, as if they are slave owners without the stock. And we continue to watch because it's crazy. It is literally a cultural phenomenon. We are watching the delusion of these men and the other men in the room being like, go off, king. Meanwhile, the black women are literally there like, what in the slavery is going on? That's what she said.
Told you, these dusties are delusional, y'all. They're delusional. So I'm actually married to someone from the group of men who conquered this ish, who dominate this world globally. You know, collectively, non-black men have fought and dominated and have overpowered you, Dusty. I'm married to one, and he don't even expect to have total control over me. So you got your damn nerve as a dominated, subjugated, oppressed nignog to expect that from a woman. Like sis said, you don't have the stock to have those expectations. Sorry, you don't have the resume to expect to have full power and complete control over anyone. You don't even got total control of yourself because you're subjugated. So how do you expect to have full total domination over a woman? You're dominated, nigga. And it's like if niggas have nothing else, it's the unmitigated all. They got the nerve. They ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but they got the nerve. It's like, what I look like submitting to a man who has been forced into submission himself. You gonna have to pay like you weigh, fool. You can't afford to have those types of opinions. You can't conquer anyone when you are conquered. Once you learn how to establish infrastructure and build economy and learn how to protect yourself and your family's lives, and once you have autonomy over yourself first, then you can talk that kind of talk. Until then, you need to shut the fuck up. Child. So there's also a trend of women mimicking how ridiculous these black podcasters sound. That's absolutely hilarious. So let's watch this, and shout out to Consequences who sent this with me.
You know what women don't be doing? Exactly, my brother. And just to piggyback off of what you were saying, my mom had 4 kids and 17 different jobs. So while my daddy was out smoking Henny and drinking crack and putting all of our money into hookers, my mother was at home with her kids or slaving away at her job. And what I don't understand is, where are the women like that? Nah, you speaking facts, bro. They don't exist no more. And this is what I be saying. Women are too emotional. I like to think critically and logically. And this is exactly why when they come over to chill, I gotta cover up the hole I punched in the wall when the Lakers lost, because they don't understand. Exactly, my fellow alpha males. How do you expect me to marry you when you can't even clean my ass correctly? The audacity for these females to think I'm gonna get home from a long day of cheating and being neglectful toward my responsibilities and family. You are not rushing to the door to take my shoes off and kiss my feet after you've worked long and hard. These bitches be tripping, bro. Y'all ever thought about going to therapy?
This is how dumb y'all niggas sound. Y'all, so they think we're supposed to be like they mammy ass mothers who was slaving and muling while their dad was smoking Henny and drinking crack, she said. It's like y'all so damn used to being enabled and coddled. When people hold you accountable, you making all these podcasts crying like little bitches instead of being accountable, instead of experiencing some culpability. A mess. Okay, I want to look at this next clip of another Dusty podcaster displaying his degeneracy.
How much did you pay that your wife murdered? That's where I wanted to get to.
Wouldn't you just do it?
I pay. How much money I got? Give me a number.
All right.
I'm successful.
Okay, I'm going to put a number on. All right, first of all, give me a reason worth killing your wife.
The dinner was cold. Real reason?
I mean, that sounds like one if you ask me.
No, I knew it. Real reason?
Told you they should have never given these niggas mics. And I guess that was an attempt at humor. Yeah, epic fail. But that wasn't funny at all, and that's not okay. But this is your Dusty podcaster. They get a microphone and they'll have a raggedy ass Dusty studio and they'll create these platforms and will say the most vile, ridiculous-ish. It's like your slip is showing Dusty. Your stupidity and your foolishness is showing. It's on full display for the world to see. Y'all, so I want to get into these last few clips of a Dusty podcaster indicating that Black women aren't meant to be committed to and denigrating Black women. So let's watch this.
Black women are not meant to be married and fully committed relationships. Black women were breeders in slavery days. And history repeats itself. That's all they are. They are breeders.
So this fool got dragged for sharing this problematic-ish. And this was his response.
Black women make no sense in my comment section, and you're miserable, and you have nothing better to do with your lives. That's why y'all kept going in my comment section. Most of y'all look like men, and ugly men at that. I'm a man, and I look better than most of you women.
Okay, Nignog. As you stream from your project apartment complex parking lot, as you stream from your base model hoopty, your little lemon, shoes in the background worth more than what you pay for the roof over your head. Child, I can't, Black women. I'm gonna need for y'all to stop listening to men who spend more money on their shoes than they do on their living arrangements. Y'all see him with the shoe collection worth thousands of dollars in the background, but he pay a few $100 for his little project housing apartment. He ain't got no mortgage. If you see that, you need to run. Don't listen to him. Because, Dusty, you've already illustrated that your priorities are all fucked up. You lack common sense, so you can't tell me. So he's saying Black women aren't supposed to be committed to. They're not supposed to be married. They're meant to be breeders. So it's like, okay, so let's use that Dusty logic. Let's operate from a place of dust. If that's the case, nignogs aren't meant to do much. You're meant to be collectively dominated. You're meant to be subjugated. You're meant to wear nooses and to become bullet bags and to catch knees to the neck and shit. But y'all don't like when I say stuff like that. I'm the bad guy when I say stuff like that. When I match fire with fire, then I'm the bad guy. Like, get the F out of here. He's also talking about Black women being unattractive when this man is objectively unattractive. You don't even look like you like women. My gaydar is going off. I don't know about you guys. But this is why I encourage Black women to divest, because Dusties are absolutely delusional and they will display their delusion on these Dusty platforms and on their podcasts. You know, it's like, I wish I would listen to the opinions and perspectives of the world's lowest performing men. Like, who gives a damn if you think Black women are unattractive? Your opinion is null and void. It holds no value. It would be like me walking down the street and asking a crackhead if he thought I was pretty, you know, or me asking this local bum who is collecting coins, he holding a cup and he live in a tent if he finds me attractive. No one cares about your opinion. It holds no value. You are at the bottom of the totem pole, Dusty. You're the world's least desired men and collectively are worst performing. And your counterparts consistently outdo, out-earn, and outperform you. So no one gives a fuck about your opinion. But this is your Dusty podcaster, y'all. And again, they should have never given you niggas mics. But like I indicated, it's probably best that they were given the capability to spew this problematic rhetoric because they're revealing themselves. And now Black men are displaying their degeneracy for everyone to see. So now you ain't got no excuse, Black women, to act like you don't know how collectively, how problematic and effed up this group of men is. You have no excuse not to divest, y'all. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.
Fellas, if y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.